Riesling is kind of like a art house film that critics love, the general population hates, and yet somehow becomes a cult classic. I know what you're thinking. Well, I think I know what you're thinking. I'm an asshole for giving you Riesling, right? Riesling is one of the most misunderstood wines on the planet. It's polarizing, even more so than Chardonnay. Now, why? Well, it's because we tend to think that Riesling is always going to be sweet. It's actually not really the case. What you should think about with Riesling that has residual sugar in it is that it's more like lemonade. Without the sugar added to lemonade, you have this painful, masochistic experience that, like, why do that to yourself? Riesling falls in that same category. These wines are incredibly refreshing, like lemonade, and have a very similar application as lemonade. Now, this is coming from Johannes Leitz, one of my favorite winemakers on the planet. If you ever have the opportunity to go visit him in the Rheingau, in the northern part of the German winemaking area, one of the top 3 greatest experiences you'll ever have. This is the 2020 vintage. Rüdesheimer is a region within the Rheingau. Klosterlay is the single vineyard. And you know, or will know after this, that this wine is off-dry because of the cabinet designation. This is the first in the 3 levels of off-dry German Riesling that you're gonna find. It's Cabinet, Spätlese, and Auslese. The wines still should be viewed as lemonade. These wines are beautiful. And if you smell these wines, there's a telltale sign that it's Riesling because it has this petrol note to it that's interlaced with white flower and stone fruit. Now, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, Pinot Grigio, we tend to talk about orchard fruits, but they're the citrus or apple pear. This is uniquely stone fruit, apricot, peach, and you'll notice that sweet smell. It's not so much like sugar added to the wine, but more like honey. And you definitely get that on the palate. Yeah, this is the lemonade of white wine. I start salivating immediately, that white flower, but that nectar, that honey comes through. Such a beautiful balance. They're so overlooked that it actually works in our benefit because these wines are radically affordable. These wines are fantastic if you do, like I mentioned before, enjoy Chenin Blanc, even Chardonnay. Their application is pretty remarkable, mainly because they are as good with food as without. Because of that residual sugar, the winemakers stop the fermentation from fully happening, so there is a residual. What I love about that is that this clocks in at 9% alcohol. So this is something that you can drink quite a lot of before you start to feel the effects of the wine, like you would Pinot Grigio, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, any of the others. Perfect when it's 100 degrees out, perfect to actually add ice cubes to. We think, or sparkling water. We think of a wine spritz as this kind of lowbrow thing. In Germany, Austria as well, because they grow a lot of Riesling, classic summertime drink is to add ice and make a spritz. This also works really well with salads, with lighter fish dishes, especially like a ceviche, mind-blowingly good. Also, anytime you are eating any type of Asian cuisine, Riesling pairs together with it. It's like true love. Anything with spice, anything with heat, because the residual sugar is actually going to mitigate that spiciness rather than escalate it like a red wine would, like a Cabernet Sauvignon. So anytime you're heading to an Asian restaurant, bring a little bit of Riesling with you. You're gonna have the time of your life. I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. If you don't enjoy this as much as I do, I'd love to hear about it. Cheers.